everyone mad at me? I was reporting true things.
Well, were the stories really worth telling? Real news isn't just any bad thing you see. That's just tattling.
Oh man, I can already see comments that I speak as a Scottish Australian. Well, hello there. Yes, I do have something to say, so let's go for it. Look, today I'm not here to say, hey, this is an awful Bluey ripoff. It's because when I saw this episode called Extra Extra, I found some details that can be misunderstood. During the episode, I also found that the scriptwriters were wasting a great opportunity to show journalism as an educational tool. Because in real life, knowing how to do research and share knowledge is one of the pillars of a healthy and strong community. Due to copyright, I am only going to use small parts from the YouTube clip. But trust me when I tell you that I am quite disappointed with the information shown on this episode. The writers had everything to make a good episode, just like in My Little Pony, but they didn't. The conflict of the episode is that Charla begins to tattling instead of showing journalistic notes. And here comes my first complaint. First, when you're tattling in a newspaper, you're making something called public defamation. Public defamation has no news value and may have legal consequence. In real life, the affected person can proceed legally because they suffer an attack on their privacy and public image. There is even a reference in the episode to this because Arnie Dillo goes to Charla's house to show his disagreement.
I was just rubbing my nose.
It is not until Charla experiences the consequence of her actions and then her parents explain to her the difference between public defamation and news reporting. Seriously? Are you kidding me? By the way, what was the need to put the mother on this scene? She has no importance in the plot. The only character that moves the plot is the father, because he explains why Charla shouldn't tattling. And his answer to why Charla was not writing news but gossip is because she did not have good judgment? Excuse me, but is this episode a bad taste joke? Is this a whole joke? All this nonsense could have been avoided if Chom Chom had explained the 6-question rule to Charla in first place, but instead, he just said that news is something worth sharing in public? What an amazing father and teacher, am I right? He doesn't explain the most important rule of journalism. He doesn't explain the structure of a journalistic story. He allows you to publicly expose your friends. He gives you an ambiguous explanation about journalistic value, and he still has the nerve to get upset because you didn't do your job well. I know this is a kid's cartoon, but it doesn't mean you can explain the main things of news reporting or waste your time with a useless character. Yes, I mean the mother, who has the same importance as the poorly drawn pictures on the wall. So, what is a journalistic note? It is the publication of a recent event whose existence is relevant for a certain group of people. To write a journalistic article, it is very important to control your emotions. You cannot speak from anger or joy. You must be impartial. You must not have favoritism. Now, about the golden rule of news reporting, every journalistic story must answer the following questions: what, who, how, where, when, and why. Easy, right? I made a song to remember this golden rule. What, who, how, when, where, and why. Very catchy. Now, about journalism as an educational tool, if I could learn this at 5 years old, I believe that other children can learn this too. My mom used to be a news reporter, and when I got sick, She and my dad read books and newspaper articles to me, so I could continue my studies. I was homeschooled. I know how it feels. Thank God, here I am. I'm about to finish my second university degree. Maybe that's why Chip Chilla is so relatable to me, despite the missing feelings, of course. In conclusion, it's not that bad, but it's definitely mediocre. Maybe it's just me, but it feels like the writers wanted to do more with this episode, but because of time, they couldn't. And it's a shame because one of the main elements to falling in love with a TV show, it doesn't matter if it is a preschool one, is showing some character development. Also, why? Why and who decided to make this scene so disproportionate? The composition of this long shot is terrible. Once again, I know this is a kid's cartoon, but it doesn't mean you're allowed to make a lazy job. I hope you have learned something new with me today, or at least I have entertained you. Thanks for visiting my new channel, and remember, I make videos in French, Spanish, English, sometimes. And fun fact, did you know that charla means conversation in Spanish?